people say, listen, Devin is about to go fight a giant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go fight a giant to get 100 more followers.
There's easier ways to get followers.
Yeah. But the flip side is we know that there's growth because every one of those tournaments had decent turnouts. And in the past, when I first started, it wouldn't be like that. Right. One of those tournaments would have flopped and there would have been 10 people to show up. So I think we're kind of past that. And we've also entered into like the world of social media famous people. And people have negative stuff to say about that. In my opinion, it's huge. I mean, we have to, as arm wrestlers who we know the sport, we're living and breathing it. We know that Larry Wheels can't beat the guy who took third at the local pro tournament. We know that.
Yeah.
But the world sees that different, and the world is bringing in new fans, and those new fans get interested and they'll learn it. So I think it's really good. I mean, some people say it reflects poorly on the sport. I see that perspective as well. But I think the folks like Devin Larratt, Ryan Bowen, Neil, even delving into like the strength world. I think these crossover matches, all these things, Devin versus Thor, everybody's like, this is embarrassing. No, it's not. Talking about the coolest thing ever.
It's awesome.
It's growth, and it's the ambassador. It's the ambassador of arm wrestling taking on one of the strongest men in the world, and both of them are doing something that they're not familiar with. I mean, amen. You know?
Right. And like people will be like, oh, Devin just wants more followers. Some people say, I hear people say, listen, Devin is about to go fight a giant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go fight a giant to get 100 more followers.
There's easier ways to get followers.
Yeah.
If Devin wanted more followers, he would have been upgraded his phone about 2 years ago.
Yeah, Devin's getting arm wrestling more followers, and he's putting his body on the line for it. And he's done that so many times, you know.
Yeah. He's literally away from his family right now, living in a gym boxing.
Like, people don't understand that dedication.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I think the sport has grown. Just to recap that, the sport has grown monumentally from the time I got in 5 years ago.
Awesome.
And you see it continuing, just to finish up that question, do you see it continuing to grow at this exponential rate in the future?
It can't not.
Okay.
It can't not continue to grow at that rate because of the amount of people who are putting things on social media.
Right.
I mean, you know, you put this on YouTube. We are just feeding the arm wrestling algorithm. It's hard as an arm wrestler to keep up with all the content creators. I've given up. I don't have enough hours in the day. In fact, I would probably need about 64 hours in the day to keep up with all the content creators.
Absolutely.
However, it's great because people are tuning in. And the more arm wrestling tags are out there on Instagram, on all these platforms, the bigger, you know, the more household name that sport becomes.
Absolutely.
It's not going to stop anytime soon.
Right. And then I guess my last question, if you guys don't mind, I was just going to finish up with it, is again, what is your advice to the new people, any new people, doesn't matter what age they are, any new people getting into the sport? I've heard advice that goes from just use bands to lift as heavy as you possibly can. Stay outside, go inside. So what is your advice?
Well, my advice wouldn't pertain to training or technique at all. My advice to every new person who gets bit by the bug, because you get bit by the bug and you're infected and you're full on and we all done it. You go into weirdo mode. You're like, okay, I need every single tool. I need to do every single thing. I need to pull at every tournament and I need to win every match. Yeah. And that is like the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
The reality of it is, from the perspective, like you said, from the perspective of somebody who had early success, that's awesome, right? I thank the good Lord for the success I had and the blessings I had coming into the sport. The flip side to it is I needed to rush my career because of my age, but I missed out on a lot of fun stuff. So I didn't get to enjoy the novice amateur climb. That ended right away. And when I look back on it, not knowing how to arm wrestle, but still being able to win was such a curse. Because if you have pro strength, but you're still at an amateur arm wrestling level,
thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. And you've skipped, you know, and then to be able to even compete with the pros, there's a stopgap there where you have to reverse your mindset and you have to go to better arm wrestlers, better pros, older pros, more seasoned pros, and say, please coach me as if I were an amateur, regardless of what I want. And to be honest with you, the climb is way sweeter than being at the top of the mountain and reflecting, in my opinion. It's not like, and I'm not saying I'm at the top of the mountain, but like there, to me, there's no joy in, you know, not having another rung or, you know, not having those goals. Being like at the bottom or starting to ascend is the most fun that you're going to have in the sport, in my opinion. And, you know, as far as like the transition from amateur to pro for a new puller, that can be a tricky thing depending on where you're at, but at least you get those rungs and you don't skip them, you know? So it's almost like starting over. I always think to myself, like, if you were going to make a comparison between novice, amateur, however many levels it is, it's like you start out playing midget football and then you graduate to freshman ball and then you graduate to high school ball. And every time you do that, you are not the man anymore. No. You know what I mean? And you know how it is. You come out of high school ball, you're all state, you're a stud. Everybody thinks you're great, homecoming, blah, blah, blah. And then you get up there, you sign your little deal, you go show up to camp and you're just another rookie, you know?
At the bottom of the food chain again.
At the bottom of the food chain. But you know what? That's refreshing, in my opinion. Because your goals just got reset. So.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm going to let these guys finish it up, but I just want to let you know it's been a pleasure talking to you. And I spent a lot of years in the Poconos in PA, so you know, I'm a fellow Pennsylvanian as well. I just want to say you're humble, you're strong as hell. You're an ambassador for the sport as well, and I appreciate you taking the time, especially coming on talking to three dudes. I mean, the most that we have here as far as experience is Nick, and he's got like going on 3 years experience, man. So it's humbling to us to see somebody that we all look up to take the time to have a conversation with all of us as equals. And we thank you for that.
It's my pleasure, Ted. It's good to meet you, man. I mean, you guys are the future of the sport. Like anybody who doesn't have time for you when you ask for an interview, I would question them, because in my opinion, regardless of how many views this video gets, it's folks like you guys that are growing the sport and who have the balls to go ahead and say, hey, you know, I'm going to hit these people up and I'm going to do interviews, and I'm going to do interviews with questions that are geared towards amateurs, because that grows the sport, in my opinion. Even if it's a smaller quantity of people see it, that's the quality of people that we want to see it. You know,
Amen,
we don't need to be making videos for other pros. Like, you know, same like tournaments. I don't believe in catering to the pros, really. I mean, you got to cater to them enough, but I'd rather have really dope awards for amateurs and stuff. And like, because that's what keeps, those are the guys, the amateurs and the new pullers are the lifeblood of the sport. The pros don't really give anything back. You know, they're not patronizing every tournament, going everywhere. And you know what I mean? They're picking and choosing. So they're money out of the sport. Whereas new pullers are money into it and their energy into it. So keep up what you guys are doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate it, man. Paul, I just got one last question, man. As a person that's been on both ends of football, you've been on the elite level of football and now you're on the elite level of arm wrestling. How would you compare the climb to arm wrestling to your climb to the elite level in football?
I mean, it really just comes down to, I mean, it's very similar, to be honest. So, I mean, we're talking about it. The difference is individual sport versus team sport. But when it comes down to the skills that you have to build and like the emotion you got to put into it, the time investment you got to put into it, you know, the mental investment into learning, the travel investment, you know, it's all very similar. So one thing I do think benefited me early on is the ability to approach arm wrestling from the perspective of an athlete. And I know that there's a lot of great arm wrestlers who have years of experience and who are so gifted that they might not have to. But for me, I've always been work over talent. Moderate talent with a lot of hard work can get you to really good places in just about everything. And I feel like that's what I have in all aspects of my life and my career and everything. It's moderate talent and a lot of hard work. So I see arm wrestling the same way. I don't want to, I'm not super freak genetic gifted monster, but I don't want people to think that, because it's not true. And even if it were true, I wouldn't want people to think that anyway. I'd rather have them see me as somebody who worked their way to get there. And for me, football has really, the success that I've had, I really had to earn. And arm wrestling, maybe because of the football background, came a little bit easier, but I still apply the same mentality as far as growth.
Like your boy Eric Thomas says, man, effort will get you to where you need to be when the talent is sleeping, ain't it?
Yep.
Yes,
And you gotta want it more than you want sleep, man. You gotta want it more than you want sleep, because there's always time. Priorities are a heck of a thing, and we all have a lot going on. I got so much stuff going on, but you know what? As long as I got a couple hours of sleep that I can maybe spare, I don't have an excuse.
Absolutely.
I'll rest when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that mentality, man. I love it. I love it, dude. The dog fight. I love it. That's all I got, man. Hey, I'm mind blown right now. I can't believe it. I appreciate it, man. This has been an amazing experience for me. Like I said, you've been one of my favorite athletes. I can't even say arm wrestler. You've just been one of my favorite athletes. The more that I get to know you, your mentality, how you approach things, I've incorporated that into my daily life as well. And I wish you much success, man. And I can't wait to see what you do when you meet John.
I appreciate you, brother. And like I said, I'll be following your feed as far as where you go. And I wish you nothing but success as well. Hopefully everything you apply works out for you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Paul, real quick. These two, Nick and Donnie, actually have a super match on September 18th.
Against each other.
Yes. Yeah. Against each other.
Do you train together?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
He don't have anybody. He don't have anybody up there to test him, so he's got to pull a 160 guy.
Oh,
well, hey. Weight's only a number. Weight is only a number.
That's not what happened at all.
Who's the favorite in that? Is this going on Steak Kings? Do I need to bet on this?
I don't think it's going to be on Steak Kings, but if I had to give you a favorite, I think outside it would be Nick. Inside it would be Even or Donnie.
Interesting.
I feel like Nick right now, Nick is going to be the favor, just his experience and everything like that. But that's exactly how I want it to go.
Yeah, work on that Super Nation down pressure.
There we go.
There you go. I love it.
Well, if you guys are good, I guess we can wrap up. Paul, I can't tell you how grateful I am, man. Super huge fan. Like, you've got to be up there with the top echelon of arm wrestlers, as far as my opinion, on people that I just love to watch, love to listen to.
Yeah.
So I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity to talk to you.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's my pleasure, my honor. Listen, I enjoy this stuff more than you know what I mean? And it's nice to be on a podcast with new people who are asking some of those questions, like I said, geared towards other people. To me, this is more fun than some of those high pressure ones anyway. So listen, here's the deal. Anything I can do to help, just let me know. So if you ever need to reach back out, or if you want to line on any of the other people in the Northeast, as far as another interview, let me know and I'll try and hook you up.
Hey, man, we appreciate it, dude. Keep making the Keystone State looking good, bro. I appreciate it.
Next year we're gonna aim at 600 entries. We might have to do a 2-day event. So
there you go.
I'm definitely gonna have to make a trip up there.
Yeah. You got family up this way. Come on up, man. We just got
to I can't say I don't have nowhere to stay. I can just go. They're in a bunch of different places, so we can make it happen.
No excuses.
No excuses. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep. So for our YouTube guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll link Paul's channel down in the description. It's Lethal Arm Assassin. So That's it. We'll see you guys later. Peace
Let
out.
me give you a quick plug now. Listen, guys, if you are tuning into this, if this somehow gets shared to you, please, for the love of everything holy, support these guys because they bring nothing but positive energy. And that's all that really matters, especially if you're a new puller and you watch this. I feel like this might be the place for you to learn some new stuff and get some fresh ideas. So thanks again for having me, guys. Until next time I talk to you.
Thank you,
Peace
man.
out.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.